going to talk about distributing. Anytime you have parentheses, when you have an expression or an equation, you have to get rid of those parentheses. Okay, the way that we do that is by distributing. Okay, when you are distributing, there are two things that you need to remember. Okay, the first is to multiply twice. Okay, the second, we must watch the signs. Okay, let's look at an example to see what we're talking about here. All right, we have 3 times 2x plus 1. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is multiply twice. So if you take your 3 times 2x, that's our first multiplication. Our second multiplication is 3 times 1. Okay, now we must watch the signs. Okay, so in this example we have a positive 3 and a positive 2x. Okay, two positives when we multiply together is going to give us a positive. Okay, so 3 times 2x is a positive 6x. Okay, our next multiplication, we have a positive 3 and a positive 1. Okay, two positives again will give us a positive 3. Okay, now can we simplify that any further? No, we cannot. Okay, you have a term with a variable and then a number by itself. Okay, we cannot simplify that any further. Okay, let's look at our second example. Our second example is negative 2x minus 1. Negative parentheses 2x minus 1. Now, notice I didn't say any number after I said the negative. Okay, when there's no number there, we assume that that number is a 1. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write that in. Okay, now we want to do our steps, go through our steps 1 and 2. First, we're going to multiply twice. Okay, so we're going to take negative 1 times 2x. Then we're going to take negative 1 times negative 1. Okay, now let's watch our signs. So we have a negative 1 times a positive 2. Negative 1 times a positive 2, which is going to give us a negative 2x. Okay, the second multiplication, we have a negative 1 times a negative 1. Now you have to be real careful here. Okay, yes, I read 2x minus 1 when we read the expression, but this sign goes with the 1. Okay, so whether we say minus 1 or negative 1, it means the same thing, but you must include this sign with the number behind it. Okay, so again, negative 1 times negative 1 gives us a positive 1. Okay, also, quick shortcut, when you have a negative that you have to distribute, all you're doing is changing the terms, both terms, on the inside of the parentheses. So we had a negative here, notice, positive 2 became negative 2. Negative 1 became positive 1. Okay, so that's a shortcut if you are distributing by a negative. Okay, all right, so that is our lesson on distributing. Remember the two things that you need to multiply twice, okay, and you are going to watch your signs.